Why, hello and welcome everybody. It is Pohx again. And I know you guys are probably expecting me on my Groundslammer, however that is not the case. So here's what happened with my Groundslam Scion. My Groundslam Scion cheated on the Templar with the Marauder, contracted an STD from him, then went by for the Witch, contracted herpes, then went back to her original lover, the Templar, gave him both, and then he Glacial Hammer called her, and she's no more. So we kind of can't play her right now. So instead we're playing a new character, which is actually really interesting, and I will give you guys a rundown of what this character is here in a minute, along with a skill tree guide for it. So the basis of it is it's going to be a dual wield Cyclone build. And me as a person, I've literally never played dual wield before. I have somewhat experience with Cyclone, nothing crazy. I played Cyclone to level 88, level 88 in Ambush. So I know a little bit about how it works, but I never got to play it after they changed it a bit. So it's going to be a dual wield Ranger using Soul Taker in my offhand, not in my main hand, which kind of is really funny because the whole Cyclone hype was Cyclone, Aegis Aurora and Soul Taker. But my Soul Taker is going to be my offhand, which just makes it feel really interesting because of that scenario. And I'm going to have about 6.8% life regen with my character, along with being evasion based and running acrobatics, and having anywhere from like a 150 to almost 170, I guess 150 to 170 effective life pool. So it's pretty interesting. I want to try it out. So for people who don't know, Cyclone, I don't know 100% as to how, like absolute 100% as to how it works. I was told that Cyclone hits in intervals of 2s, and it hits one time with each weapon when you're dual wielding. When you're not dual wielding, it's just, you know, flat out with the one weapon. But I don't want to give you information I don't know, so I can't really clarify anything 100%. But this is my character right now with 2 weapons that are pretty good, but you could easily craft something like this for like 4 chaos each weapon if you decided to, you know, do the whetstone recipe. And then you know 20% quality, you get the percent IPD, then you transit, then you regal it, and then you mastercraft flat fizz. You get something similar to these results. And my character, this is my character tree right now. We're booking right now. We're gonna be going down over to Golem's Blood, getting Vigor, and then moving across, getting Splitting Strikes. And my character will kind of take off from there. But I just want to show you guys, you know, some gameplay with the character. It's pretty neat. I do like it. I get a lot more damage in this character, and to me it feels a bit unique because not many people I see use axes these days. I could be wrong, you know, I haven't been in the PoE scene lately, but I don't see many people using axes. Like, there's always the jokes about axes and whatnot, and I just thought that using Soul Taker, so first off, being dual wield, you get extra bonuses on dual wielding. And then Soul Taker is an axe, and I'm going to be using an axe, so it's like I benefit both ways. You know, I help the Soul Taker, and I help my main hand weapon. So I'm pretty curious to see how it works. I've got pretty high hopes for the character, I want to say. I don't know how high, like, I don't know if it's going to be like, oh my god, I'm going to one-shot things instantly. People said it would, but like I said, I am not 100% sure. But nonetheless, I'm pretty excited. It also gives a reason to use Vol Cyclone. So I'm pretty excited as well to use that. Vol Cyclone is the best, man. You just got to be careful you don't pull in like something you don't want to pull in. And it gets not like a crazy amount of block, but let's see what I have for block chance. Let's see, block would be in defense, right? Chance to block, 18%. So it's still something, you know. It's not a lot, but it's still, nonetheless, it's free block chance. Block chance on top of acrobatics is going to be pretty neat, on top of being evasion based. And this is why I want to talk about axes, which I will do here very shortly when I pull up the tree. You know, I thought I was muted for a second. I was about to get really PJ Salt. Axes and evasion seem to synergize very well on your skill tree. And because I'm acrobatics, I don't really want to stack a lot of armor. However, mitigation is not armor. Therefore, you can get as many endurance charges as you'd like and still benefit all the way off acrobatics. So, let's just do a little bit more here. Let's click this box. Let's click the box. Ooh, identified items. Let's do it. And before people say, Pohx, but you didn't kill the bear. Alright. Oh yeah, and this is on a 4-link, I shall say. Right now it's Cyclone, Melee Fizz, Blood Magic, and Life Gain on hit. And as we all know, because Soul Taker does not let us go or, you know, the mechanic on how it works, we don't need to use Blood Magic since it is a melee skill. Therefore, we save an extra link, and that's the benefit of going Soul Taker is, since you're not theoretically going to have as high damage as a two-hander, you get the extra link, and then you can play around with it, and then match the damage, if not even top it. And Soul Takers this league aren't too expensive. Please don't raise the price, guys. I haven't bought mine yet. I just thought I'd be nice and make the video. Alright, so here's the waypoint. We'll go ahead and stop it right here, and let's kind of talk about the skill tree a little bit. So, let me look. Can you guys see the nodes? You cannot. Alright, 1 second. Monitor capture, properties, captured layer, windows, apply. It should work now. Alright, good. So, this is it right now. I guess I'll try to rebuild it. I might fuck it up, so I do apologize ahead of time, but this is what the skill tree is going to look like. So, let's reset it. Here we go. So, I started off Ranger. Ranger over Duelist because I feel the nodes are a bit better than the Duelist section. We're going to grab Finesse, very good node, 8% attack speed, is really sick. We're going to move up and grab Heart of the Oak, which is our first life regeneration. Some people would say, well, why would you take Heart of the Oak when you're doing Cyclone because you're not getting stunned? And then it's like, well, 8% life and 1% regen for 2 points, still pretty good. I'm going to move across, get dual block, dual damage, weapon artistry, aspect of the Panther, and move down. So this part you could stop here. You actually don't need to touch this if you're leveling. This is entirely up to you. This is ironically how I wanted to do it, and then I didn't realize that I was getting myself into this mess. And I'll explain why you don't want to touch this part after. Then we're going to come down here. I like grabbing the first 2 points of Quick Step. I think it's really beneficial. It is 9% attack speed and 6% movement speed for 2 points. Of course, you don't like it, you can pull out. You don't actually need to get Hatchet Master until you're actually using an axe. We're going to move across. We're going to grab our Bravery, Master of the Arena, dual damage, Dervish, dual, and then move across. Now, as much as I'd love to say I really want to get like ambidexterity and even blade barrier, it's just, it's so far out of the way. Like, you're spending 4 points just to get here, and this is a 12, and this is a 6. Like, 6-3s are good, and ambidexterity is awesome, but it's a lot of points, man, to go there. So I just can't. And plus, Soul Taker already has such high attack speed on. It's like 1.88 or something. So I sadly cannot take this horseshoe wheel down here. We're going to move across, grab our life notes here. Move across, get an endurance charge, move across. And by this point, you're like in your 30s, you're probably using axes. So we're going to grab splitting strikes here. Now, if you look here, these two nodes are evasion and armor. Which is really cool. So this node is actually, this wheel is amazing. It's 12% raw, and then 10% with 16% evasion and armor, with splitting strikes being 24% with 6% attack speed. So from here we're going to move across and grab axe damage and master here to get hatchet master, which is an additional 10% increased evasion. It's like, okay, cool. We're going to move across, 1, 2. We're going to move down, grab our life and bloodless, move across here. Grab 2 points into Juggernaut, because Juggernaut, even though this is armor, 4 and 6 makes 10, which means these nodes are effectively 5 and 5, and you get 20% increased life recovery from flasks. Alright, now you get a big boy damage. You get axe damage and attack speed, axe damage 15s, leading up to 35% with cleaving. And then we've got this section here for slaughter, which is okay. This node is pretty shitty because we don't need accuracy. But then we got 10 twos, which are pretty good. And then we get Slaughter for fizz damage and chance to gain Onslaught for 3 seconds on kill, which is really neat. We're going to go ahead and get our next endurance charge, move up, grab Barbarism, move up, and grab RT. Now, this is why I said to delay this section, which I did not do. I'll probably respec it after, because you don't really need Acro right away, but getting RT is huge for your character. And if you were to come through this route like I did, you're just delaying your RT by a lot. So from here, we're going to come in, grab our strength, attack speed, strong arm, really good node. 4% attack speed, 20% fizz with 20 strength. Move in, grab Born to Fight, get Heart of the Warrior, life, Warrior's Blood, and you have more regen. Now from here, you've got your options on what you want to do. You could choose to grab life here. There's 4% lives here, 4% lives here. Actually, this is a 5. There's a 5. You've got By the Blade up here for more evasion. You have optional life you could take right, or is it here in Duelist if you wanted to go get life here. You've got more life you could choose to take over by here, which is where I'm going now. First off, I also made the mistake of you should put this attack speed in, it's 8% for 1 point. You could also go across again and grab Profane Chemistry, and then you'll have 3 flask effect things if you really wanted to. But anyway, we're going to move across now and grab our attack speed, and we're going to go in and grab Herbalism. We're going to move up and grab Dual Block, Dual Attack Speed, and Swagger. A lot of people are telling me these nodes aren't worth it, and I'd have to completely disagree. If you're on the way to something and you're not really spending the points for this node specifically, 3 points for, what is this, 4% block chance. Yeah, 4% block chance, 24% fizz, and 4% attack speed, in my opinion, is pretty good. Now we're going to grab up Phase Acro, and our character's about like 90, 88 or so. So this is the way I'd like the character to go. It's pretty awesome if I look at the character sheet here. This is totally manageable for me. It's like 88, mid-80s or something. Whether or not I'm going to get there, I don't know. But, you know, I could drop points. I could drop out of, like, Quick Step and whatnot if I don't really want it. Alright. So this one gets 150% life. And, you know, like I said, you've got 4% life here, 4, 8, 12, and then you get another 5. And then you've got the nodes over here. You've got Revenge of the Hunted. There's a couple nodes you could play around with Profane Chemistry. So we take, let's see, we have 112% increased evasion without even speccing into evasion. That's the awesome part. So I can essentially use evasion gear with Grace and get a decent amount of evasion. Not anything insane, but just a decent amount. And then we get another 40% from Dex itself. We get 40% life recovery from flasks, 64% armor, it doesn't really matter, 10% increased movement speed, 4.8% life regen per second, not including my endurance charges, which is really neat. So I guess I'll be 6%. I thought there was another life regen. I might be missing a point or two somewhere on the tree. I apologize. I just woke up. What is Armor Master or Soul Steel? Fuck that, I don't want that. So that's pretty much the character. Like I said, I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. Unfortunately, it is not the most budget character. It does kind of require a Soul Taker to be played, so I apologize for that ahead of time. You know, I just realized another thing you could do is you could connect like this and drop these if you didn't want them, because these are minor. 12% and 4% are like minor nodes, so I just realized you could actually do that if you chose to. That's interesting. Then you're trading strength for dex. That's still okay. That's fizz versus evasion. So anyway, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the build. You guys tell me what you think about it, and you know, I'll see you guys all tomorrow. So take care, everybody.